I'm joined by Richard Jefferson, Paul Pierce, and gentlemen, it is now time for a game of something, nothing, or everything. First up, the New York Knicks reached an agreement on a trade to acquire Pistons guard Derrick Rose for Dennis Smith Jr. and 2021 second-round draft pick to reunite Rose with coach Tom Thibodeau. Richard, is this something, nothing, or everything?
I think it's something. You know, ultimately the Knicks are in a playoff push, and Dennis Smith Jr. was out of the rotation. So to get Derrick Rose, and we've seen the last couple of years, he still has something left in the tank. Is he, the starting guard? Is he this? Is he that? No, but is he a contributor? Does he understand Tom Thibodeau? Does Tom Thibodeau now have an ally that has played with him in his system that understands everything that he's doing? So I think this right here is a sign that the Knicks are trying to make a playoff push, and they believe that they can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's something also, but what's encouraging to watch guys like Derrick Rose. He's at a point in his career he can say, trade me to a contender, and we haven't seen that since he's left Chicago. He had stops in Cleveland, Minnesota, Detroit, and now he's going back to New York. My hat's off to him. He hasn't been a ring chaser. He's comfortable under Coach Tibbs, and hopefully he can help the Knicks get into the playoffs.
Yeah, I love this. I think it's going to be really fun to see them together again. Maybe we can actually get a crowd at the Garden sometime this season to give him some props. I think it's going to be really fun. Looking forward to what they can do. All right, guys, it's time for one of our favorite shows within a show. Oh, yes, the OG show within a show here at The Jump as the Kings turn around. The Sacramento Kings beating the Clippers last night for their fourth straight victory. One of our heroes, leading man Buddy Hield, dropping 22, and De'Aaron Fox led all scorers with 36 points and 7 assists. So, Paul, the Sacramento Kings, as they turn around, is it something, nothing, or everything?
They have to take every little thing they can get out of a season because this team hasn't been to the playoffs in so long, and this 4-game winning streak has been against quality opponents. So it's absolutely something they can build on, and hopefully it's something that can vault them into the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I definitely believe this is something. Before the season started, I came out and tweeted that the Sacramento Kings have the worst starting lineup in basketball. And the Sacramento Kings fans continue to retweet that and send it to me. But look, De'Aaron Fox made a jump that they expected last year, and he made that jump. I think Coach Walton has done a great job. They got Halliburton to slide once that they did, but Halliburton slid to them, and this guy has been amazing. His basketball IQ is off the chart. Buddy Hield has played well. Marvin Bagley has been healthy. These are all of the key components that have led to their success. You get young players making jumps, you draft well, and you get your other young stud to be healthy. This is why this team has a chance to make the postseason. Will they? I think it's going to be tough. I think they have a chance for the play-in game right around that 7, 8, 9 spot. But it is very, very encouraging for Kings fans and for this organization to see all of this young talent starting to put it together.
Well, just to add here, the NBA just announcing that De'Aaron Fox, in fact, won their Western Conference Player of the Week award. Giannis on the Eastern Conference side. And I will say, I really applaud you saying Coach Walton in that highlight package there. Not a way to describe your best friend, one of your closest friends and former roommates, but that was very professional. Really, really.
I'm trying my best.
Really
I'm trying
nice.
my best to be professional. Trying my best.
How's that working out for you?
It's not very well. Not very well.
Last up, let's move on to Kevin Durant, initially pulling from the starting lineup right before tip-off to undergo contact tracing on Friday night. Then cleared to play, entered the game late in the first quarter, then ordered to exit midway through the third quarter at the direction of the league. It was a mess. Kevin Durant not happy, tweeting, quote, "Free me," and then having an even more lengthy and explicit tweet at the league after that. Richard, as Kevin now sits for the next 3 games for contact tracing, is it something, nothing, or everything?
This is everything, and I'm going to explain to you why. Kevin Durant had a streak of most consecutive starts. It was like Patrick Ewing, Kevin Durant, Carmelo Anthony, and I'm not sure who the next person is. So he was on pace to have this amazing streak. You know, we talk about double digits and consecutive this. He was on pace to break Patrick Ewing's record for consecutive starts. So they pull him right before the game starts. Streak is over. Then they're like, all right, go out there and play. And they're like, no, you can't. So this is something, you know, it's all of this COVID stuff's going to get worked out. But the fact of consecutive starts, that was the part that I kind of feel bad for Kevin Durant.
Yeah, this is absolutely everything. Just the way it went down, because originally he was stated to not play. Then he came, walked on the court, came off the bench, and like for the reasons Richard said. And then he's sitting out 3 games. And another thing, you're going to ask him to come play in the All-Star game that a lot of the stars aren't excited about. This is everything, Rachel. Hey, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of frustration there that Kevin was venting. It was a rough weekend for that from stars around the league. And it is frustrating for guys when they feel like they're getting kind of yo-yoed back and forth. And I know that the league's health and safety people, I really do want to say, they have been faced with just a huge, tall task. And this stuff is hard. There's no precedent for it. They are trying in the end to keep everyone safe. I know from Kevin's side, since he has been open about the fact that he had COVID, he has tested for antibodies. So he sort of feels like, okay, well, why are you holding me out? There's a lot going on here. It is very, very difficult. And it's just one more thing that we hope can become a thing of the past soon enough as we go through getting people in this country vaccinated. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about foul calls, friends. Do NBA stars get gifted with foul calls? We'll discuss this after
each other. The lob for Zion, the trailer, and the one hand is flush. He has been an unstoppable force tonight. Here comes LaMelo Ball with his hair on fire. Wow! A windmill!
Keep digging, man, it's coming.
Paul George has beat the buzzer a few times. Oh, he does it again!
Look at Mike Porzingis to cut it a flush. Oh, DeMar DeRozan.
We got to make it harder for them down there.
Sometimes you dribble the ball, sometimes it dribbles you.
I don't have a hobby. I just play basketball. That's all I do, so I got to find a hobby. So I decided to take some pictures after the game.
Woo! I don't need any afternoon coffee after that. That was awesome. Welcome to The Jump. I am Rachel Nichols alongside NBA champion Matt Barnes and New York Times bestselling author Brian Windhorst. We have a jam-packed show for you guys today. First round of All-Star voting just dropped. We will show you the results shortly. Also coming up, Bulls star Zach LaVine joins The Jump to discuss being the face of the franchise, and also his name being rumored on the trading block as he hopes to get an All-Star invite. Plus, we're going to talk about a new book from Lakers vet Jared Dudley, adding even more fuel to their rivalry with the Clippers. Should the Lake Show be more or less worried about the Clippers this season than they were last season? Stick around for that discussion. First, though, you could be forgiven if when looking over scores from last night, you saw that the Bucks blew out the Pacers by 20 and thought, same old, same old. After all, Milwaukee has spent much of the past couple regular seasons blowing teams out. And then once the Bucks get to the playoffs, yeah, not great, Bob. Once benches get shorter, teams face each other over and over, opponents have figured out how to exploit Milwaukee's predictability, its rigidity, the small but stubborn holes in Giannis's game. It's all gotten to the point that really, no matter what the Bucks achieved this regular season, it was going to strike fear in the hearts of exactly no one, which in turn led to an interesting question for the Milwaukee Brain Trust. Do you spend these 72 games trying to win each one, above all else, chase the best record in the league again and the top seed that goes with it? Or this time around, do you spend the regular season instead experimenting, practicing, expanding, even if sometimes it gets ugly? Well, we're nearly a third of the way through, and it's been clear the Bucks have picked the latter path. They've swapped out personnel. They've toyed with different ways to use Giannis, leaning into him as a screener and a passer. They've switched on defense. No, really, we have film of it. And sometimes it has been, in fact, ugly. Early in the season, the Bucks got clocked by the Knicks. They lost to the Heat without Jimmy Butler. Giannis has struggled at the free throw line, too. I mean, really struggled with the worst percentages of his career. But that is the thing about change. It is not supposed to be easy or pretty. And when you finally start to see all the little experiments paying off, it is all the more satisfying, which is why last night's win felt like so much fun to Milwaukee. Giannis in particular was a stud, and no, it wasn't because he dropped 40, because he didn't. Instead, Giannis had just 21 points, but they came with razor efficiency as he went 7 for 8 from the field, and 7 for 8 from the line. He also had 14 rebounds, 10 assists that weren't all just dishes from the paint out to the three-point line, but real playmaking in the half court. Check out this early in the second half. Giannis down low, could have tried to force his way through even after Miles Turner, who leads the league in shot blocking, by the way, came over to help. Instead, though, you see that he found a cutting Brook Lopez streaking to the basket for 2 points. Here was Giannis afterward, describing his mindset.
It's a new thing, probably last year and the year before and the year before that, I go to the game, I'm just too stubborn, to not be at my best every single night, and I try to go through guys, 3 guys are guarding me, I still try to get in the paint, I know all that, and I think this is just a step forward.
This isn't the way Giannis has often played previously, but it is likely the way he needs to at least be able to play more often for the Bucks to